Hey everybody, thanks for being here for a minute. So something that I'm practicing and I love doing in not only my sessions with clients, but also I'm practicing in my daily life is to meet the moment or the interaction or the session with no agenda. And it's actually really difficult because the mind wants to have lots of agendas and plans. But what I feel we're all stepping into is this beautiful space of inviting the divine feminine to lead and flow. So what I'm feeling called to do in this live right now is actually to drop in. And when I say drop in, I mean connect to my higher self and source messages that want to come through me today, and just allow any messages that want to come through for anyone that feels guided to see or watch this video, whether it's right now or in the future when you come across it. And I do trust that the right people find these messages and find me. That's how it's been working. So I am going to just practice trusting and dropping into this now moment with you, and just trust that whatever messages come through me now are for anyone that is guided to listen to this message potentially in the future as well. So taking time and space out of this equation and just setting that as the intention that the right people may find me and this message and this transmission that's for them. So I'm actually just going to drop in and see what wants to come through. And I actually do have a few toning things that I like to do to just kind of clear the energy beforehand, okay? So if you'd like to join me or just open your heart, these messages are meant to be felt from the heart space and not necessarily understood through a linear mind frame. So if you'd like to drop in and just take a listen and see if you receive any messages or codes that are just specifically for you today. So setting my intention to connect to the highest levels of love and light and benevolent source energy. And already I'm feeling a lot of throat activations, a lot of throat energy, picking up on that for the collective as well, that there are a lot of individuals that are feeling called to speak their truth, and potentially in more of an abrupt way than they may normally. So I'm going to do a little toning and just see what comes through. So I'm being shown that many people are birthing their heart space, and it may feel like anxiety, it might feel like a lot of fear, and the guides are wanting me to share that this anxiety that you feel is not, it's not what your mind or your ego wants you to think it is. It's actually your heart going through a transformation. So you might be feeling physical symptoms of rapid heartbeat or anxiety or fear, and what your ego and your mind may want to put to those feelings or emotions is actually not what's going on. And so what they're asking you to do is to come back to understanding that sensations are the ultimate form of being present, to just be with your sensations as they arise without labeling or without judging. And non-judgment is key. And this is also tying into something that is called neutrality or 0 point, which is what we are actually moving into as a collective, which is divine neutrality and 0 point of non-judgment, of moving out of duality into wholeness, oneness, divine unity. also invite Lord Ganesha, that's here now, to remove any obstacles from our path that may be eclipsing our view, and inviting 2020 vision and clear understanding and clear framework. I'm seeing a picture of like a timeline landing that is cementing into place. It's actually already landed, but we're starting to feel it in our bodies now. So things that we've known internally and been processing internally for quite some time over the past few years is now actually coming into physical form with this new timeline and these new energies. So much throat energy right now. And so part of embodiment is actually healing the throat, healing our ability to speak our truth. And I'm being guided to share a mantra, and it, yeah, so let's see what comes through. Om Bhuvasva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. We all want peace. We all want the same thing. No matter how it's being expressed, the majority of humanity right now believes with their whole heart, from whatever place they're at in their own development, their own journey, their own path. They believe from their heart space that they are doing the right thing, and to be reminded that the right thing doesn't have to look the same for everyone. And that's part of non-judgment and stepping into divine neutrality and seeing ourself in everyone and seeing ourself reflected, the heart as a mirror. So our hearts are mirrors for one another in understanding our shadows, understanding what we still have to integrate into our own bodies and experience. And so what triggers you is a gift. It's a gift to be able to understand what it is that you have not integrated within yourself without judgment. And I'm actually, they're showing me this song by, I think it's Yaima, if I'm saying that right. I don't know, but I'm just reminded of this song. I'll see if I can remember it. Free from all old stories I've been told, I walk through the valley of my own shadow. So those lyrics are reminding me that there's a lot of shadow work happening at the moment, and we're walking through our own shadow actively because there's so much light coming through. There's such a bright light. So the eclipse that happened yesterday was incarnations. Our soul has experienced many things, and that a lot of the gifts that may have been laying dormant in your specific DNA are now being activated. And so you will quite literally be able to experience a whole new reality, a brand new beginning, a brand new reality. And so the message of forgiveness is coming through very strongly for whoever might be needing to hear that at this time, that divine forgiveness and letting go of anyone who has caused you harm or done you wrong. And the invitation is to fully forgive and step into your freedom. And freedom, lots of energy around that. So freedom does not necessarily mean free from responsibility. Freedom through responsibility is key at this time. Freedom through responsibility is key at this time, and to understand that freedom comes in many forms. And a lot of times our ego does not enjoy the forms of the paths in which freedom comes to us. And oftentimes the messenger of freedom that knocks at our door, we often don't answer it. And there's an image around that coming through as well. And actually this image of like the Christ, whether I'm not religious, but if it's the Christ consciousness knocking at the door, and it's up to us to kind of answer. And so what I'm kind of being guided to here is that all willing hearts can receive this gift now. And so it is. All willing hearts can receive the gift of freedom now. And so it is. It's ours to claim. It's our sovereignty. Freedom and innocence and divine neutrality are our birthright. And so it is. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light. We also acknowledge our divine guides and benevolent ancestors, loved ones, and higher self to guide and direct our path as we go forward into this new chapter. And a prayer and a blessing for all who choose to listen and to accept this message into their hearts and into their life at this time. We ask that their higher self and guides and angels, all benevolent messengers that are here to help them on their path, that they make their presence known to them, and that they claim their birthright and open to the freedom that is here for them now. And so it is. And we ask Archangel Michael to protect them and on their journey, and protect their energy, and to stay in their sovereignty at this time, and releasing all energies and entities that are not theirs, that are feeding on their light, that they be released now, and that they claim their sovereign power and own their freedom, and reflect their freedom to the other, to reflect another's freedom back to them, so that we are constantly reminding one another of our divinity. And as masters, we are here to remind one another of our divinity, of our source, of our freedom. And so may we continue to remind each other of our light and our freedom, and be a true and accurate reflection of source within each one of us. And so it is. Thank you for listening to this message.